So we're going through exercise 5b, and in this question we're going to be answering question 2d, which asks us to state the domain and range for the relations represented by each of the following graphs. So here is our graph, and here is my domain, and here is my range. I need to figure them out. The very first thing that I want to add to this graph is arrows. So an arrow here and an arrow here. And the reason why I want to do that is because that indicates that this graph is going for infinity in this direction and this direction. And that's really going to be important when I'm figuring out my domain and range. Now, we know that my domain is going to be the set of all the possible x values for this relation. Now, where is my first x value? Where is my first x value? And to figure this out in the previous questions, we've been using this vertical line to see where I first touch my graph. And at the moment, it looks like this line isn't touching the graph. But in fact, it is, because, as I said before, these arrows mean that they're going for infinity. So I could draw it in. It's going for infinity that way, and it's going for infinity that way. So now, when I come grab my line, hopefully you can see it's always going to be touching it. For infinity, the very first place it's going to touch it is negative infinity, which doesn't really make any sense when you think about it too hard, but don't. It's always going to be touching it because it's going to for infinity in the negative x direction, and it's going to infinity in the positive x direction. So I could come over here and put in infinity here as well. So in other words, this graph is going to exist for all my x values. So in other words, my domain is going to be all real numbers. Perfect. Let's now put this line to the side and figure out what my range will be. My range is all the possible y values. So where is my first y value going to be? And hopefully you can see, because we've been using this horizontal line to figure this out, hopefully you can see that I'm already touching the graph. This y value is going to exist from negative infinity. And then I can grab my line and I can bring it up and up and up and up and up and up and up. The last place where this horizontal line touches the graph is going to be y equals 4. So my last y value is going to be 4. So therefore, I could say that my range begins at negative infinity and ends at 4. My lowest y value is negative infinity and my highest y value is 4. And I've just realized I've made a little mistake. This shouldn't be a circle bracket or a round bracket. It should be a square bracket, because I'm including that 4. There you go. A bit of on-the-spot maths there. Hopefully this video was useful to you in answering question 2D.